Surprisingly, I'm not dead and buried after all I've been through. My story told here on Left Turn Chronicles.
Welcome back, my peeps, to Left Turn Chronicles. I am Lee, your host, and today we continue our journey with Phoenix. If you haven't checked out the previous episodes, please take a listen and get caught up.
The mafia in the United States feared them. Feared them. Feared them. The Colombians, even with Pablo Escobar, I think, feared them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, but I tell you, the person that I met was nothing. I mean, as I told you in the beginning, you could say that he was a no-nonsense person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but people are like that. People are all about business sometimes. Stick to their word. You have to be true to your word. No games, no.
Exactly.
Don't talk what you say you can't do. That's what the type of person he is. You know? He would make things happen and yeah. But very, very jovial person, very very kind. And very yeah. Yeah, man. Would always help, would always if somebody was in need of something, it would be done right, whatever they need.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether them need for good doctor, them need for this, them need for that, it was done.
Wow.
He was just that type of person. But then, there was the other side to him that we weren't really exposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So those shady men that came.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was like.
Yeah, now you realize that these guys were probably, lieutenants or henchmen or whatever they.
Right.
But they and they came around and thing and he just left everything. I mean, all of the business, them the renter cars, the renter bikes, the jet skis, everything was just leave everything. Apartments fully furnished, and I'm talking with luxury stuff. Luxury. I remember it was at his house that the first time I ever actually saw with my two eyes a huge. I think it was like at that time. Well, now that TV is small enough, but back then a 42-inch was almost like a theater to us back then. You know,
Louise, can you imagine how much you pay for that?
Yeah, man, where do you get this from?
Yeah, money wasn't an issue.
Yeah, but yeah, man. But I mean, it's just that sometimes you can't. I mean, you can't judge people like that. You can't assume you might see somebody and you know. But I'm telling you, you don't know. You never know the story of the man next to you. You never know. You never know.
This is very true.
Yeah, man. But yeah. So that. I mean, even Jay, that my first love. She had actually met him because she came down one summer and thing, and because we used to always hang out at his house. She went up there and all of that and stayed at and was not stayed. We visited his house. And so she met him at that time, cause when I was even telling her afterwards, I was like, you remember that house that we went to, and that was who it was. So yeah, but
wow.
Yeah,
so
man.
The community embraced him, like he.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't really mix with a lot of people. But through us, I don't know. I guess he felt the trust. So he just felt. I think he just looked at us and was like, these guys are innocent. These guys like them not involved in nothing. You know what I mean? So I mean, he could tell because I mean, he probably knew who was who. He probably knew who the whole underworld was in that town or whatever. So he knew who was who. So he knew that we were just in our 20s, just guys having fun.
And he was how old, guessing, you would say?
At that time? I would say maybe maybe early 40s.
Okay, makes sense
Or
then.
sometime in the 40s. Somewhere in the 40s. Could be
Okay.
early 40s because he didn't seem old, but he was a mature man.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? He
yeah.
was, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because I was wondering when you said that he was when you first met him, you mentioned that he was older and you
Yeah.
were younger. So in my mind, I was like, okay, an older man, younger kids. But it makes sense now that I'm hearing the entire story
Yeah.
because you guys are more naive.
Ah,
You're,
yes.
you're not
Yeah.
exposed to
Right.
kind of figuring out certain things. So he
Right.
probably chose you guys for that. Okay.
And he would see the whole innocence. Now we were not involved in anything at that time.
Mm-hmm.
We were just young kids having fun, just doing. And he saw us, getting like he would see me. He saw that I was running my dad's business. I run. He saw my friends; they were running their parents'
Mm-hmm.
business, and then other guys around us were there. So
Mm-hmm.
he just saw the opportunity, and he was like, these guys, they're well known.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows. So maybe he took advantage of that also
Yeah, yeah.
because we got things set up real fast. Like if when he needed like a place to rent to put have the bike rental place and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like well, we that was nothing. We knew who to talk to. We knew who owned this building, that building.
Okay.
We were in school. We went to school with like these people's kids,
Mm-hmm.
so we know them. So we could be like, oh yeah, man, Mr. Brown own a building, man. I can talk to him about that shop, you know.
It was
Or we
very
can do,
intentional.
yeah, no, that's a look back on it. But we just started, hey, this is our friend Andrew, you
Yeah.
know,
Isn't
it's our
that
friend
something?
Andrew, yeah. But he knew he wasn't stupid. That you listen to the documentaries and everything on him. They said that he was the real brains.
Mm.
Jim Brown was the muscle and the enforcer, but he was the brains behind the whole thing. So he knew how to strategize. He knew
Mm-hmm.
who to link, who to make the correct moves to make. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he had years of experience.
Now, how did your friends and how did you feel? Like when I find out, say, you guys were friends with, boy, I may tell you, Lord Jesus,
It,
with the
it
head of a mafia. Like, how did that impact your relationships going forward? If it did.
it all right. At first, when I found out,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't anything like any fear or anything. It wasn't. It was. We were more like frightened Friday. We were like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, yo, we're hanging out with this person. It was like we were just surprised,
Mm-hmm.
like we kind of had a feeling like we were connected then.
Mm-hmm.
Like like somebody that said, boy, yeah, man, I know this person, I know that person, or it's like somebody bragging and saying, yeah, I know John Gotti. I
Mm-hmm.
used to live next door to John Gotti. Me and him used to hang out and drink,
Mm-hmm.
but it's that kind of thing
Right.
back then. But the older you get, and then especially with me, and then when I got involved in all different type of things, then I realized, you look back and I was like, oh, you're playing with fire,
Mm-hmm.
you know. You're hanging out with, but that's how life is. I mean, nobody knew that Jeffrey Dahmer used to eat people until them actually catch him doing it.
Lord
You know
Jesus.
what I mean? No, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying like you don't know who your neighbor is.
This
You
is true.
don't know. You'll never know.
This is true.
So it's not like say you can spot them a mile away and say, oh, I know you. You're a bad person. Let me stay away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they are exposed, you will never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll never know. And especially in Jamaican society, that's how it really is. I mean, what's his name of a song out there talking about the corruption of the business world in Kingston. I must say the most drugs come out of Cherry Garden. I mean, in the sense where these guys used to post back in the days. Nobody not really know the history now. But they used to do it. Big uptown families used to do it back when it was, and they build a fortune out of it. A lot of them. A lot of them. I personally know politicians and mayors and people like that where used to load ganja plane. Me know that for a fact. You know what I mean? You don't go there and spread upon them, but you know that. So it's just like, and then now, guess what? The big businessmen know. You know? Them don't have to go back to that road, but that's where a lot
that started, yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't necessarily getting their hands dirty. They had people doing the dirty work for them. So
right.
Wow. Okay.
So yep, but that's that with that part. I mean, we connected again later on in life, but I'll explain that later on down. Okay. But we did there was a connection, a big connection too, and where they even people came to me. I was like, yeah, man, we know we knew of you from back then.
Wow.
People knew. So people bigger in the organization and all of that knew of us. So I mean, I guess that's why when you look back on things now, I'll be like, well, I mean, if anything should have gone wrong or whatever, I mean, we all could have been wiped out because I mean, I'm pretty sure that he wasn't the only one that knew who he was mixing with. He probably let these other guys know, say, hey, man, hang with these guys. If anything should happen to me, to them face them, man.
Wow.
So
that's very, very, very scary because I'm sure that him know uno, but me know him know uno family.
Yes.
Me I say
no everybody lives. Yeah, man.
That's very, very scary.
Yeah,
my God. Okay, so your stepbrother, you mentioned your stepbrother. Did he meet? You said yes. You said he did meet.
Yes, he did meet him. Yes, he did meet him. Yeah, he did hang out and all that, but he, as I say, he went overseas. He went on the ship. So yeah, but yeah, man.
Do you still keep in touch with him?
Yes, I do. Not as often as I should, but yeah. I kind of yeah. I mean, there are little reasons why I keep my distance, and you'll know why later on down as we talk further. But I mean, nothing bad, but I just decided that let me just live my life.
Got you.
Right. So yeah, because it's not everybody, because not only him, but I mean, I have like close family members that just did not agree with things that I got involved with, and because of that, them kind of turn up them nose, and that is one thing with me. I mean, I think it is wrong, and I would never judge somebody, no matter what they've been through, because you really don't know the circumstances that brought them to this point or to whatever they went through, why they had to do it. So you don't just and act like, oh, this can never happen to me. Because believe me, it can. It can. It can. I remember, and sometimes I blame myself for certain things, but I mean, I remember in one of my relationships, like the person said to me, like, like, oh, you made this happen to you. This can't happen to me. And I remember I said to them, it can. Don't act like it can't. It can. And so said, so done.
Wow.
It did happen to them, and I didn't even respond to it or anything. I wasn't like, say, I told you or anything like that. Right. I did. I left it alone because, Jamaican people, they must say, you turn your goat mouth for me.
Lord,
but they just leave it alone.
Yeah.
So I just left it alone.
Yeah.
But people always think that things, oh, this can never happen to me, man. Or you make that happen to you, it can never happen to me. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
it can happen, man.
Yeah, it can. I mean, a lot of people, like you're saying, a lot of people, they think it's only the economical part that pushes you into a
Mm-mm.
certain lifestyle, whether it's, you don't have, your ends are not meeting, so you have to find another way. So you turn
Right.
to this and that. But there's an emotional part and a psychological part.
Yes.
Because there are people who have it all, like you that say, them not
Yeah.
poor, right?
Yeah.
But them
Yeah.
still end up going into that
Yeah.
direction. So you know, you
Yeah.
have to broaden your scope. You have to broaden
Yeah.
your scope and really see why. Because with your story is a perfect example.
Yeah. It
You
is.
know, so you have to
It
kind
is.
of dig. Mm-hmm.
It is. It is. But I mean, I mean, people listening so far, I think, okay, yeah, I went through some stuff and thing, but they're probably thinking, well, you still have a good family life, you still have a father, you have a business and all that, but
Mm-hmm.
as they listen, they'll listen and learn and understand
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
understand, this is one of the reasons why I want them to listen also, so that they don't fall in the same trap.
Absolutely.
Don't fall in the same trap. You have to be focused.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be focused on you. You have to be focused. You know. So I mean, my dad did provide good opportunities and all of that. I remember because we had a farm and there was a river that run through the farm. And I remember my dad went and he bought a stone crushing machine
Mm-hmm.
and a block making machine.
Wow.
And he was like, listen, you can he bought a little tractor also and thing, and he was like, the area is going to, because his friend owned a farm next to him, but he decided it was a banana thing, and he decided, but when he went on that banana farm, the view was so beautiful, you could see the ocean and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember who, somebody was approaching him and wanted land to buy, and he was talking to my dad about it and saying that, he's thinking about subdividing, can't buy the banana business again,
Mm-hmm.
and go and subdivide it and sell it out. And right now, that guy was hundreds of acres.
Wow.
That whole land up there so is like one of the most desired community in
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica right now. So he sold out. And so my dad knew he had first hand knowledge of what was going on, and he was like, listen, you can sell sand and stone and make blocks and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
because construction development is gonna start,
Mm-hmm.
and you are the closest point to where, and so instead of them have to be paying a truck to carry all of this stuff from further distance,
Mm-hmm.
much far away, you are the closest point to. So he was like, listen, you can even probably eventually get a truck and do your own deliveries and everything, can you? And but I didn't listen.
Mm-hmm. It was
Didn't
your
listen.
choice. It was a choice that you consciously made at the time.
Well, no, I mean, it's not only that. It kind of tied into other things.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause my dad, we're at a point now where, so I'm dating and he's dating now. He felt that, at an age where so I'm good now. He can start dating again.
Mm-hmm.
And there were women that he was dating that I liked. There are a few of them that I really like,
Mm-hmm.
really really like. Um, and then there was a couple that's like just not. I wasn't feeling them.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't feeling them. You just felt a bad vibes with them. Like the others were closer to his age,
Mm-hmm.
and they had kids of their own, and they
Mm-hmm.
understood the whole family dynamics. and they would understand how to. They treated me with respect. They treated me good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like they were involving me as their child kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not as a threat.
Mm.
You know, others came in thinking like I was more like, how can I be a threat, or how am I like maybe like I was getting in their way of whatever they wanted to achieve.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, there wasn't about my dad giving me attention, my dad giving me,
Wow.
you know,
And I know that
wanting.
you lost your mom at an
Of,
early age,
of
but they
course, it
still
did.
felt. Mm.
Yeah, that it was like it kind of felt like, you know, we investing in him so much, or why waste time and do this, or that kind of thing. That's a vibe that I got.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing. I remember like there was one that I really I love that woman so much. She was like I really she reminded me of my mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because me and I would sit down and think and talk and all this stuff, and you know, she'd be like, yo, you know, hey, you should probably really think about these things where your dad, you know, and talk to
Mm-hmm.
me about my future, and this is what you can do, and this is what you can do, and this is, and we used to talk, you know, up to today, I still remember all these conversations and all this thing with this
Wow.
woman.
Bless her
But
soul, man.
yeah, but she's not about, you know, like the others seem like it was and I think maybe it's because they were closer to my age, you know, my dad, him a little younger. Yeah.
So it was. Wait, let me try. Let me wrap my head around this. So
Oh, I tell you.
your dad dated women who were good all the way around, as far as wife material
Yes.
and family material, where them can rear you as in a
Yes.
nurturing space, but him
Yes.
never want that at the time. Him they just want
No.
a young girl.
No, I don't know what he wanted, but all I know is a young girl catch him.
Okay.
I don't know what, because let me tell you, I mean, we used to go out and all of that, and like with the more mature ones,
Uh-huh.
that's what I tell you, we were more like a family. We would, you know,
Do things together.
yeah, they on some Sundays they would cook. We'd go over there. You would be like, come on, we'll go over so for dinner and thing. I had no problem with that. I was happy. I was going over there.
Mm-hmm.
It felt comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
We go over for Sunday dinner and this and that and all that stuff, man. But then with the young one, them now it was like, especially one. It was more a young girl thing, big booty kind of. Yeah,
Big booty
yeah,
catch him.
yeah. I'm not talking about. Listen, my when I the all right, let me tell you this. There was one that became my stepmother. Can go ahead and tell you this from now. Well, my peeps, thanks for listening, and remember to tune in to the next engaging episode. And don't let the left turns in your life deter you from going right.